This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, and verse 1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying," Ezekiel 38 and verse 2, "Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, prophesy against him." Ezekiel 38 verse 3, "And thus saith the Lord Yahweh thy power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal." Ezekiel 38 and verse 4, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy armies, horse and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of bucklers and shields and all the handling swords." Ezekiel 38 and verse 5, "Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with all of them with shield and helmet." Ezekiel 38 and 6, "Gomer and all his bands, the house of Todmor of the north quarters, and all his bands and men people with thee." Ezekiel 38 verse 7, "Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself and all thy companies that are assembled unto thee, unto them." Salakia. It's the book of Matthew, 24, verse 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet." Matthew 24, verse 7, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Akarkadash, and the Heavenly Father's true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash, the Holy Tongue. And shalom to the elders, Wa'akem Wa'akwa, and I say shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of this news article from the MiamiHerald.com, published by Rachel Dunklin from the Newsweek World, updated January 27, 2024 at 7:18 p.m. And it reads, "Russia warns of tragic consequences as NATO troops train near border." It says NATO Bulgarian army troops. This is an old photo. It says a Russian foreign minister official recently warned of a tragic consequences as 90,000 troops from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and its partner Sweden trained near Russian border. And I believe I'll say like a couple of days ago, I believe Turkey recently gave the final touches of the ratification of to make it finalized and make it official that Sweden and Finland to officially join NATO. Keep that in mind as well too. It says a Russian foreign minister official recently warned of a tragic consequences as 90,000 troops from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is the NATO, and its partner Sweden trained near Russia's border. It says earlier this week, NATO launched a military exercise called Steadfast Defender 2024. The operation will run through May and entail around 90,000 military personnel trained in several European countries, including Poland and Russia's neighbor. The goal of the exercise is to test and refine NATO's defense plans to reinforce European defenses against the near-peer adversary, according to a statement from NATO. It says while Russia was not named in the announcement, NATO states in its 2022, which was 2 years ago, is a strategic concept, a document that identifies security challenges facing the military bloc. The military bloc, the Russian Federation, pose the most significant indirect threat to Allied security. It says Sweden, along with its neighbor Finland, applied to join NATO after Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. There needs to be a unanimous support for all member states to gain entry. While Finland joins NATO last April, Sweden's entry is currently being held up occupy Hungary. Right, because at first it was Turkey, now it's Hungary. It says during a brief Russian Foreign Minister spokesperson Maria Shakov, Shakovova, if I pronounce her name right, it says called the Operation Proactive in nature. Russian state media TASS reported on Friday for several months 90,000 strong groups, forces from 31 NATO members countries as well as Sweden will be actively operating NATO Russian borders on the territory from Norway to Romania. She said this steps this steps is deliberately aimed to escalate things and increasing the risk of military incidents that could completely lead to tragic consequences for Europe. Shakalova said that Russia has no plans to attack NATO countries, despite fears of escalation of global conflict if Russia wants to win its invasion of Ukraine, which Russia look at that as a special military operation from February of 2022 all the way to now, as it's entering its second or third year of the Russia-Ukraine war. It says when Russian President Vladimir Putin launched his full-scale invasion of the Eastern European country, he claimed it was to desensitize, if I pronounced that right. Ukraine, however, Ukraine leaders have repeatedly denied accusations from Putin that the country is run by the you-know-what regime. It says during her recent briefing, Shakovova said that the chairman of its NATO military committee, admiral Rob Birrell, said that the alliance is preparing for a conflict with Russia. Similar comments has also been repeatedly heard from the leadership of NATO countries. And she continued that this way the alliance is trying to justify its assistance in the eye of millions of Europeans and Americans, as well as its agenda to contain Russia, to justify the insane increasing in military spending, and of course, some way distract public opinions and audience attentions from the failures in the field of that very hybrid war NATO is conducting by the hands of the Kharkiv regime against our country. Newsweek reached out to Russian government via online forum and the NATO press officials via email for comment. The United States and the European EU has been the biggest financial and military backers of Ukraine in its war with Russia, while President Joe Biden remains a loyal ally to Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky. And American support of Ukraine aid has been dwindling, especially among Republicans. As Biden pushed for more aid for Ukraine, he has warned that if Russia succeeds in defeating the war-torn nation, the U.S. military may be at risk of being pulled into a direct conflict with Moscow. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying. Of this recent news article from the MiamiHerald.com as of January the 27th, 2024, and it reads, Russia warns of tragic consequences as NATO troops train near border. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of this recent news article. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. And the Heavenly Father's true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash, the whole time. And Shalom to the elders, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.